Hey everybody, it's Dr. Cara, and I am here with your monthly forecast for the month of January 2022. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. We are coming into a new year, 2022. Numerologically, oh, I said it right. That's a 6 year. And so 6 is really about what I call compassionate leadership, which is also 6 is also the parenting number. So it's all about taking care of ourselves, taking care of others. For many of us adults, it's all about parenting ourselves the way we wished we had been parented as children, or parenting our children in the way that resonates with our values. But it's all about that type of leadership relationship, that compassionate, heartfelt leadership. And because January is the first month, we can add 1 for January with the 6 for 2022 to come up with 7. And so January 2022 is a 7 month, and 7 is all about the spiritual seeker and spiritual aspects of life. And what a great way to start the year with that 7 energy, because then we can really focus on not necessarily the material, the accomplishment, the physical world stuff, but we can really look at our spiritual experience in the world and what is that meaning to us. And because it's the first month of the year, our vision is all automatically going forward. And we will be looking into, what do I want to create this year? And the beautiful energy of that 7 month is that it will be coming from this place of what's meaningful to me. How can I share my gifts? What do I want to bring in and attract into my world for my soul growth, for my spiritual part of my life, my personal, not so much professional out in the world necessarily, but what's there for me on the spiritual level as a divine being having a human experience in the physical world. So I just think it's a really great way to start the year. I'm a life path 7, so I love 7s. It resonates with me. And I obviously, I just love everything about spirit and spirituality and all that. So I'm all about the 7s. But if you're not, just think about it as what's meaningful for me, not what am I supposed to be doing, but what should I be doing? What am I telling myself that I should be doing? But really just, what is my heart telling me? What is that inner part of me saying that I want? So if you're doing any visioning this year, really come from that place of what would be fulfilling to me and how will that feel? Not so much, do I need to make this amount of money, sell this many things, whatever, all that kind of stuff. And I am planning to have a visioning class at the end of the month, which I do every year this time of year. I do a visioning for myself and my business and my whole life, and I will let you know about that and share my process and the tools that I use to keep me focused and inspired by my vision. So more info about that coming up. So here we are with my Animal Wisdom Oracle cards, and these are 40 cards. All based on intuitive conversations that I had directly with specific animals, and asking them my 3 questions. What's your spiritual gift? What's your spiritual lesson? And do you have a message that you want to share with people? I just got this tingling in my hands right then as I was, I had my fingers on the back and my thumb on the front. And so I'm going to pull, because I'm feeling it like in my thumb and in my fingers, I'm going to pull that back card, which is the African elephant. And I'm going to pull that top card because I also felt in my thumb, the manatee. These two go together. So let me, excuse me, Dazzle. She's on my couch scratching. So I'm going to go with just these 2 cards for this month. Sometimes I do 1, sometimes I do 3. These 2 came to me at the same time. I think they go together. I don't feel a particular order, but let's kind of go through them and see what the messages are and how they relate to January of 2022. So we have the manatee, which the spiritual gift is living in the present moment. And the spiritual lesson is about losing identity. So really losing track of who you are in the big group that you live in. So this is kind of what I was saying about stay away from the shoulds, right? Like, don't worry about the shoulds so much as remember who you are and what you want. That's what's important. That's your spiritual compass. Your inner compass is really your spiritual guide moving forward. And then the message to people is you choose your future. So the manatee is such a interesting kind of dichotomy between kind of mellow, passive, peaceful, living in the present moment, not really worrying about anything else, but then at the same time, like really acknowledging, I choose, I create my future. My future is created by the choices I make in each present moment. So that's a very empowering message, right? So manatee is all about be here now, but recognize that how you're being here now is setting your future in motion. It's setting the path to your future. So really interesting. And then I love African elephant as well, because this is kind of, they're kind of similar messages. The African elephant is all about traditions and the cycles of the generations of life and carrying on the traditions of the society, of the culture that you're born into, and following those traditions. Think about the migrations that they make and all of the ways that the tribes, the herds interact, right? Like that's the traditions, that's giving them a foundation, a sense of identity, all that kind of stuff. And then their challenge is integrating the new. So it's easy to get so caught up in this is how we do things, how we've always done things, that it can be really hard to bring anything new into the mix. And so that's their challenge, is how do we marry these long-standing traditions with a world that's changing? And how do we integrate that into our present moment experience, which is the manatee present moment, right? So to me, these messages really complement each other. And the interesting thing about the African elephant is the message to people is there is no compromise. So, and this message comes from a very angry elephant that I talked to, but talking about the environmental crisis that we have going on. There's no middle ground. Some things have to be the way they have to be, and we're like playing this ridiculous game of environmental Jenga right now, where we're pulling out all of these pieces. And at some point, the whole thing is going to collapse. And to me, that's what this message is. There are some things we can't compromise on. And those traditions, those values must be upheld. Those systems must be upheld. And remember, if we get the message about the environment, it's going to apply to us personally as well. Our community environment, our family environment, our inner environment. So this to me is really speaking to our values and our reality of some things are malleable and flexible and some things aren't. And what this is saying to me for us in January 2022 is that this is the time to recognize where your limits are, what is not open for compromise, what must be so for you. And that is your values, right? So that's identifying your values and what is meaningful and valuable to you. So taken together and in no particular order, again, like I feel like this month is really about, it's about the spiritual leadership of your own life. It's about really recognizing where you come from. It's choosing where you go. It's acknowledging who you are, what your values are, what matters to you, and trusting that feeling inside, that inner yes, that inner no, whatever it is, look to that and follow that. That is your inner North Star. That's your inner compass, your inner guide. And this month in particular, of all the months this year, it's a 7-month. So really focusing on that, separate from and not even considering what's the material side of things, right? But really focusing on, this is the time to focus on me, my guidance, my inner yes, my inner no. What do I really want? Who am I? And how am I going to continue my life with the traditions that I have and integrate the new so that I can be totally present in the present moment and make those choices inform my future in a positive way. So this is, to me, more about a way of being, a way of living, than really anything else. It's like, how can I live in this present moment, honoring myself, honoring my ancestors, and choosing my future by really integrating whatever lessons I've learned along the way, knowing where to compromise, knowing where not to compromise, and not getting lost in the noise, in the chaos of other people and their expectations for me and their expectations that I've taken on. So, oh, my phone's ringing and I got to turn that off. I forgot to turn that off. Sorry. So, hang on just one sec. Oh my gosh. Stop. Okay, sorry about that. So that's really, to me, the message for this month is really about all of that awareness, all of that way of being, and then that becomes your way of being in the world, your lifestyle, the life that you're living. And that is a powerful, powerful place to live when you're in the present moment, making those choices consciously, not out of rote, not out of shoulds, but out of, I'm right here, right now, and this is what is so, and this is what I choose based on my values. So it may sound like a tall order, but I think really the key is coming back to the breath, coming back to that inner yes, that inner no, and letting that be your guide for whatever visioning, whatever choices, whatever decisions you're making this month. Take the elephant and the manatee with you. Have a beautiful month. This is a month of empowerment. And it's really about recognizing your divinity, your spirituality, and the life beyond the material that we're all living. So I look forward to seeing you this month. And I hope you'll join me in my visioning class whenever that happens, hopefully towards the end of the month. And have a beautiful, beautiful year and a beautiful, beautiful January. See you next time. Bye, everybody.